Hello students, welcome to AriserTalent. As you know, we are studying very important chapter of NCERT, that is heredity and evolution. In my previous lecture, I told you about evolution and I told you how does evolution occur. Now we are going to talk about inherited traits and acquired traits. What are inherited traits and acquired traits? Inherited traits and acquired traits. Okay, so if we talk about inherited traits, it means inherited means something which is inbuilt. Now, where it is inbuilt? It is inbuilt in the genes. It is found in the genes. Okay, so here we can say that the traits which develop in the organism by the genes means these traits are controlled by the genes. Why? Because they are present in the genes and they pass from one generation to the another generation. This is the reason they are known as inherited traits. So, what are inherited traits? The traits which are controlled by the genes and which pass from one generation to the another generation. These are inherited traits. For example, if we talk about the human beings, then their form of hair, color of eye, color of skin, all these are what? All these are inherited traits. Clear? Now, if we talk about acquired traits, what are acquired traits? Acquired means something which is obtained or which is something gained. Okay, so if an organism gaining something from its environment, okay, when the variations are there because of the changes in the environment or because of the use and disuse of the organ, so these traits are known as acquired traits. Clear? Now, let me define. These are obtained from one parent or from parent. Okay, means these are transferred or these are passed from one generation to the another. So, these are obtained from the parent. But if we talk about acquired traits, so these develop during the life span or lifetime of an individual. Okay. So, as I told you, these are obtained from parents. Okay. So, these are genetic variations. Another point we must mention, these are genetic variations. Why these are genetic variations? Because these are present in the genes and these are transferred by the genes only. Fine. Acquired traits, these are somatic. These are somatic variations. What is somatic variations? The variations which occur only in the physique. Okay, they are not inbuilt or they are not found in the genes. So, these are known as acquired traits. Okay, so here we must say these occur due to the crossing over of phenomenon or mutation. These occurs during the crossing over of phenomenon or mutation. Okay, but if we talk about acquired traits, so we must say that these develop because of the use or disuse of the organ. Okay, these occurs or these develop due to the use and disuse of organ and direct effect of environment, direct effect of the environment. Okay, fine. Here these pass from one generation to another. Why? Because these are genetic variations. So these pass from one generation to another. These pass from one generation to another. Okay, but if we talk about acquired diseases, so these die with the organism only, with the death of the organism. Okay, so these are the differences between inherited traits and acquired traits. Hope it is clear to you that inherited means something which is transferred from one generation to another generation. Okay, like color of hair, skin, color of skin, color of eye, shape of nose, okay, tallness, dwarfness, okay. So, and in the plants, if we talk about the plants, then color of flower, form of seed, tallness and dwarfness of plant means height of the plant. So all those variations are known as inherited traits, fine, because these pass from one generation to another, because these are present in the genes only. Acquired traits, these develop during the lifespan of an organism because of the environmental changes or on the basis of the use and disuse of the organ, fine. And these develop due to the it's completed, and these variations generally die with the death of the organism. Clear? So this was all about the inherited and acquired traits. Now we will talk about speciation. What is speciation? Speciation means formation of a new species from the existing one. That is speciation. Next is speciation. What is speciation? Formation of new species, formation of new species from the existing species. Formation of new species from the existing species is known as speciation. Okay. So what is speciation? When the new species, maybe one species or maybe more than one species are formed from the existing species, means when the variations occur and the new organism is formed with the variations. So we can say that the new species are formed. So how the new species are formed? The new species which carry the different characters or which have some variations, when they occur from the existing one, then this process is known as speciation. So what is speciation? Speciation means the formation of one or more new species from the existing one, that is known as speciation. Fine. Now we will talk about classification. What is classification? Classification means arrangement of what? Arrangement of species or arranging the organisms according to their similarities or dissimilarities, that is known as classification. When these are some characters which are common in some organisms, they are kept in one species, and when they are kept in another group on the basis of their dissimilarities. Okay, so what is classification? Classification is the system to keep the organism in a group or subgroup on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. Fine. Classification means the system of arranging the organism or here we can write the species also. Okay, so the system of arranging the organism in the different groups or subgroups on the basis of their similarities or dissimilarities is known as classification. Okay, this is known as classification. So, as we all have studied in class 9th also, that first of all organisms were categorized into two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then again eukaryotes were classified in two groups, unicellular and multicellular. Okay, so let me define the classification here. This is the definition of classification. Now we will define that how the organisms are classified into different groups. First of all, they were classified into two groups. What were they? Prokaryotes or eukaryotes. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, what were prokaryotes? Prokaryotes means they do not have nucleus or well-defined organs. Eukaryotes means they had nucleus. Again, the eukaryotes were classified into two groups, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular. Okay. Then on the basis of their functions, again they were classified into the different groups. Okay, so this was the basic classification of an organism, that organisms were classified into two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and on the basis of the presence of cells, they were classified into two groups. Unicellular means they had one cell, means complete one cell perform the different functions of the organisms, and multicellular means they had different cells. From the cells their tissues were formed, and from the tissues organs were formed. Fine. So, they were classified into two groups. So, this is all about the classification. Now, we will talk about the evolution. So, how the evolution has occurred, I have already told. Now, we will talk about the different types of evidences. What are the evidences? Now, we will talk about the evidences of evolution. Okay, evidences of evolution. Generally, there are different types of evidences. Some are what? Some are morphological. Here we can see these are morphological. Or anatomical. Okay, then embryological evidences, then paleontological evidences. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to talk about the different types of evidences of evolutions. Okay, evolutions means the changes which have occurred in the organisms. Okay, these changes may be in the shape and size or in the colors, means different variations when the different changes comes in the organisms. Okay, So first of all we will talk about the morphological or anatomical evidences. Here we can see that the morphological or anatomical evidences means when there is a change in the morphology or anatomy of the organism. So these are of two types, homologous organs or analogous organs. Okay, here we are going to talk about morphological. First of all, we will talk about morphological or anatomical when there is a change in the morphology, when the evolution occurs in the morphology of an organism. Fine. So these are known as morphological or anatomical evidences. Fine. So these are of different types. First of all, we will talk about homologous organs. In what? Homologous organs in the vertebrates. Here we can see that the forelimbs of frog, forelimbs of lizard, forelimbs of bird and forelimbs of human beings, these all are same in the structure, means their horizon is same. Why these are same? Here we can see that they all have pentadactyl limbs, means these have 5 digits in the limbs. Okay, these are pentadactyl limbs. So thus we can see that their basic structure is same, but they perform different functions. They appear different and they perform different functions, then they are known as homologous organs. Clear? So what are homologous organs? Homologous organs means when their basic structure is same, means the horizon is same. Here as we can see the picture of forelimbs of frog, lizard, bird and human being, then we can understand that their horizon is same because they all have pentadactyl limbs. Fine. So these prove that their ancestors were same. They have developed from the same ancestors. Fine. So thus we can say that the homologous organs are the organs which appear different, perform different functions, but their basic structure means their horizon is same, then they are known as homologous organs. When the appearance and function of the organs is different, but their structure means internal structure or horizon is same, they are known as homologous organs. Means they are developed from the same ancestors. Here we can mention these are developed, means here we can see that the frog, lizard, bird or human being, these are developed from the same ancestors because their horizon is same, because they all have pentadactyl limbs. Here we can mention these have developed from the same ancestors. Okay. Here because these all have what? These all have pentadactyl limbs. So these organs are known as homologous organs. Now next we will talk about analogous organs. Here we can see that their outer appearance is same. Okay. Here in the homologous was appearance and functions were different, but in the analogous appearance is same, function is same, because here we can see that the wings of bird help it to fly and wings of insect help it to fly. So we can say when the appearance and functions are same, but the structure means horizon is different, then these are known as analogous organs. Next we will talk about analogous organs. Next is analogous organs. Analogous organs, when the appearance and functions are same, when the appearance and the function of organ is same, but they have different in structure, or horizon, are known as analogous organs. Fine. So, hope it is clear to you that here we can see the wings of bird and the wings of insects have same outer appearance. The function is same because these wings help to fly the birds as well as help to fly the insect, to fly. Fine. So, the here appearance and function is same, but their basic structure is different and the horizon is different. So, they are known as analogous organs. Next is vestigial organs. Here we can say tailbone in the human being, okay, as well as nictitating membrane in the eye of man, left and up in the right. Here we can see these are the nictitating membrane. It is present in the human being. So, these are vestigial organs. Vestigial organs means when these organs are not of any use. These are known as vestigial organs. Fine. So, third are vestigial organs. Vestigial organs means the organs which are not of the use of anymore. Fine. These are known as vestigial organs. So, here let me write about vestigial organs. Next is vestigial organs. What are vestigial organs? The organs which have no longer have any function, these are known as vestigial organs. The organs which no longer have function are called vestigial organs. Okay, so here in the picture we can see that here the nictitating membrane in the eye of a man, it is of no use now, but it is believed that in the ancestors they had performed some functions, but they have reduced now because they are of no use. Means, as I told you that the acquired traits, when I told you about the acquired traits, that time also I told you that these variations come because of the use or disuse of the organ. So, here these organs means these membranes were not of any use, means they were no longer useful for the human being, then they were be reduced in the size and shape. Okay, so these organs are known as vestigial organs, as well as here we can see tailbone in the human being. Again, it is of no use. It was present in our ancestors because that time they were using it, but because of the less use, it has been reduced now. So, thus we can say that the vestigial organs are the organs which are no longer of use. Fine, so these are known as vestigial organs, but these were well developed in the ancestor, but because of the less use, they have been reduced now. So in this lecture, what we studied about the different species, we studied about the inherited traits and acquired traits, we studied about the speciation, we studied about classification, and then we studied about the evidence of evolution, in which we studied about the morphological or anatomical evidences. Okay, in that we studied about what? We studied about the homologous organs, we studied about analogous organs, or we studied about vestigial organs. Let me revise it. Homologous organs means which have the different appearance. They have different functions, but their basic structure or their origin is same. Means they are developed from the same ancestors. They are known as homologous organs. But if we talk about analogous organs means the organs which have similar appearance and they have similar functions, but their basic structure or their origin is different. So they are known as analogous organs. And here, as we are talking about vestigial organ, let me define it once again. When the organ which is no longer of use, then it is known as vestigial organs. Fine. So hope everything is clear to you. Thank you.